I'm sure you've heard the news, but not like this. Get ready to dive into what's happening in the world of MMA. We're your go-to spot for fight night predictions, fighter interviews, and all the behind-the-scenes action you crave. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Give it up for your host, the one and only Panda.
What's up, everybody? Daddy from PandaMMANews. And we have Big,
the Zookeeper, aka Big Poppy,
aka Big Sloppy. So we have a couple interviews for you guys tonight, but just to let you guys know what it is, we have the legendary Jennifer Maia. She just won her most recent fight at Invicta FC 56. I believe it was like 2 weeks ago. You're gonna hear when she's returning because we are breaking that exclusive news on this episode for you guys, but you'll hear it in the interview. She fought Valentina Shevchenko in the UFC. She's fought a lot of the who's in the I believe it's flyweight, right? Yeah, flyweight. So she's fought a lot of the who's in the flyweight of the UFC. She's an absolute badass, absolute pleasure to have on. Can't wait for you guys to hear that. But on top of that, we also have the rising up and comer Ashley Barrett, aka Smashley.
not Barnett, Barrett.
Yeah, you'll find out why you said that later on. Little fun fact to let you guys in on this interview, because you guys we started recording after all this happened, so we lost track of time. And we didn't realize that it was her interview time. And mics were live. We were on, and we were talking like guys do, a lot of inappropriate shit. A lot of inappropriate stuff. I'll have to bleep that out. But we were talking.
We just want to go into it.
Yeah. And
we're just gonna let it out.
We're gonna let it out. And she also believes that Big Sloppy here is the transvestite daughter of David Bowie. She heard that too. And then I realized that she was in the room, and that's when the interview started. So she heard a little bit of that. Don't know how much she heard, but she's a good sport.
She was a good sport.
She found it funny. We really enjoyed having her on. Little backstory. She was on the same card as Jennifer Maia, Invicta FC 56. She was the first fight of the night. She won by round one, ground and pound. She put that nickname Smashley. She put that on the line. That was the real Smashley. I believe her opponent's still having some CTE flashbacks from what happened. It was pretty brutal.
Smash, smash, smash.
Yep. She went Hulk Smashley. But so before we get into that, let's get into tonight's UFC cards. Or UFC card, I'm a moron. But it was Gerald Cannonier versus Caio Borralho in the main event. But we'll start from the very first fight on the main card.
Dude, we got shamboozled, didn't we?
We did. So I'll let Big Sloppy start it off. Go ahead and tell him the first fight. Tell him the result.
Well, guys, you know what? I'm always hard on Gerald because let's just face it, he's 2 steps forward, 1 step back his entire career, and he's fought a lot, but he's also like 10 years older than Edmen. And so I just, looking at the matchup, I thought Shahbazyan was going to get it done, but he got sharded on tonight, and it ended in a submission.
Meerschaert.
No, it wasn't merely this time around.
No.
Oh, and then he also broke Anderson Silva's record tonight too. So hats off to Gerald. That was an awesome performance.
Yeah, and just to touch on this a little bit, did I not say if it went past 2.5 or the half point in the second round that Gerald would win?
Yep.
Yeah.
You did say that.
Edmen Shahbazyan, if you watch our last episode, I said this. He had the praise from Ronda Rousey when he first started up until he got dominated by Derek Brunson, and then that praise went away. After round one, he's pretty useless, dude. He's a lot like Chimaev. He blows his fucking wad in that first round. And then the opponent ends up taking over, and little foresight. That's what I see happening with Chimaev and Whitaker. I see Whitaker right after round one just fucking manhandling Chimaev, but we'll get there when we get there. But go ahead and go to the next fight.
Yeah, so we definitely saw this coming, and we were right. And it happened in the first round pretty quickly. Michael Morales, oh God, that spinning back elbow was so nasty. He was up against the cage, and he was kind of just fighting the hands, and he was setting it up, and he had his back turned kind of awkwardly to him. And me and Richard were both thinking, like, what the hell is going on here? Oh, he knew what he was doing. As soon as he got that separation, just bop, and it was basically 9-8 for Neil. He took a Neil queel.
He hit him with that yeah, no, wait, straight up, dude. Right when Neil had his back, there was just a moment there where the hands were pretty much broken apart, and he just like sat there with his back facing Neil, and we were both like, "What the fuck is he doing?" And all of a sudden, rack out of fucking hell, dude, just fucked Neil's day up. We picked Michael Morales based off a common opponent. They both fought Max Griffin. They both won over Max Griffin. I personally thought Max Griffin beat Neil Magny, but Michael Morales clearly beat Max Griffin. So based off that, we both went with Michael Morales.
Not to mention he's younger and undefeated.
Yeah, like 10 years younger.
So that always helps.
And bigger too. Well, actually, Neil Magny was bigger, right?
I want to say Neil. Yeah, I want to say Neil was bigger by like 2 inches or something like that.
Just not down below, apparently.
Yeah.
But anyways,
time marches on.
Next fight.
Yeah, man. So this one was from the Ultimate Fighter. It was
we had no picks.
Kaan, Ofli, probably fucking butchered it, but hey, we out here.
We're oofling.
And Mayron Santos. Okay, we didn't have a pick on this one. It was a really good fight, though.
It wasn't announced when we made picks.
Yeah, but it was an awesome fight. It ended the way it did in the second round, and
performance of the night.
And oh God, was that just a nasty, the way he just like knocks him out, right, and then comes back and just gives him the boom.
Well, the thing about the finish, dude, it was so fast. All we saw was that first hook, the right hook thrown, and it just grazed his forehead, but obviously that rocked him enough. And then on the return, with his body returning in the opposite direction, he hit him with the left hook, dropped his ass, and while he's on his fucking knees, grabbed him by the side of the head and started feeding him this vicious uppercut. It was brutal. I loved
two unnecessary biscuits.
We're gonna need to message him after we get off this so we can try to get him on, because props to him, dude. That was one of the best. That's how you get a fucking contract right there. You want to get a contract, that's how you do it. You gotta have the finisher's mentality. Same with the Dana White Contender Series. You'll never get a contract from Dana White if you don't at least attempt to finish the fight. He's not going to give you a contract by dry humping your opponent to decisions.
Yeah, that's not good enough. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody got time.
But what we do have time for is the next fight, which is Robert, Valentin, and Ryan Loder. And despite my partner here's
I was wrong.
I told y'all if I was going to put my money on it, I was going to put it on the local cat. He's a D1 wrestler. He's fighting with he's training out of Alpha Male. Or team Alpha Male.
Yeah.
And you know what? But Robert had his moments where he looked good.
There's some good scrambles.
So, hats off to him too. I thought, to me, if it was my decision, I would have gave them both a contract, but Ryan was just the better man tonight. He had the more polished grappling. The grappling exchanges between these two
excellent
was fucking amazing.
For for two guys trying to get in the UFC, like it looked like, at least in the grappling exchange realm, they've been there for years.
Absolutely incredible. There was a moment where Robert he was in a more dominant of a position, and I saw Robert get a 2-on-1 on his arm and get turned back into his guard.
Yep,
beautiful.
Hey, let me ask you a question while we're on this fight. Did you know he was a D1 wrestler going into this?
Yeah.
Okay. So, little backstory. I picked against Ryan Loder purely out of petty shit. For one, I had no idea he was a D1 wrestler. If I would have known that would have swayed my decision very heavily. But I reached out to Ryan Loder. He gave us a lot of maybes he'll come on, and then he just stopped replying, so that kind of pissed me off. Robert Valentin was very upfront. He said he didn't want to do any interviews because he's training, which I appreciated. So that's where my pick came from there. But again, if I would have known there was a D1 wrestler, I would have went with the wrestler. But that's pretty much the story of that for our picks.
Yeah, but
next fight.
That's life. No hard feelings. But yeah, moving on, dude. This one was an absolute banger. These girls went out there, and they were willing to die. They were absolutely willing to die. Angela Hill, hats off to you. You're an animal. You were just throwing those bombs. And Tabatha, congrats on the win. That was hard fought. I was literally
fight of the night.
I was watching that going. And maybe somebody else sees it differently, but I couldn't come up with a clear winner. I was like, man, the judges got it. They got a hard decision to make right now. But, awesome. Tabatha's making her way up, and Angela is the gatekeeper. So they both looked really good tonight. That to me was probably
Fight of the night.
fight of the night.
I agree. You know, obviously any straight male, they see Baby Shark, they have thoughts. I didn't make my decision based off that. I made my decision based off, I follow her on Instagram. I see her workout routine. It's fucking brutal. Plus, her boyfriend is Callum Walsh, who is an undefeated Irish boxer. So you know that she's working with him with her hands. The fight though was insane. Like he said, I had no idea who was going to win go at the end of it. What I will say though is, regardless, Angela Hill, you're still one of my favorite fighters. I love your story. I love the fact that your parents were your grandparents were the first ones to claim alien abduction in the United States, and the fact your Muay Thai background. I just love it, and it was hard to pick in this one because I like them both so much. I just went based off age on that one, honestly. But Angela Hill, if you see this, we want you on the podcast.
Yeah, and again, phenomenal fight. The main event for me, yeah, my ADHD kicked in. I was having a hard time paying attention because to me there just wasn't enough going on there. It was just, I think when you get to, because I like both these fighters, I think when you get two guys like this that just respect each other a little bit too much, the whole fight feels like a filler. You know, it almost felt like high tempo sparring.
Yeah,
it didn't. They, you know, Caio, however you say his name, Caio, his face would say otherwise. He's got a pretty nasty gash. He's definitely wearing the fight on his face.
He almost finished Gerald multiple times.
Gerald got clipped multiple times. That's why ultimately he lost the fight.
Almost submitted.
Yeah, dude, that's another thing. He had his shoulder so deep into his neck. I'm like, most people at that stage, after being clipped that many times and being that like late into the fight, I think a lot of people would have gave up right there. Not doing it.
But on the subject of this fight, I disagree with him. I don't like them both. I like Gerald because of his story. He started as heavyweight, moved his way down, blah blah blah. Caio Borralho, I liked him at first when I think he was on the Contender Series. I liked him when I first saw him because he had that Conor McGregor bladed stance. He was very fast on his feet. But the man is a fucking decision artist. He's boring as fuck to watch. There's nothing fun about him, dude. Like, he doesn't have a finisher's mentality. You had Jared Cannonier rocked like 2 times. You had him almost submitted, and you still like just did the bare minimum to get by, dude. Like, that is not fucking exciting. And then he calls out DDP. He has the nerve to call out DDP. They will never give you a title fight, dude. You're the Bilal of this division. You will have to work your fucking ass off and beat everyone in the top 10 if you want that title fight. No one will give you a title fight if you fight like that, dude. Plain and simple. That was the most boring bullshit decision I've ever seen. You're 10 years younger. Why the fuck did you have Gerald almost finish 3 times and you couldn't pull the fucking trigger because you wanted to smell his fucking armpit for the last 30 to 45 seconds? That's bullshit, dude. I'm not a fan of him at all. I honestly would like to see him versus Michelle Pieta. I think Michelle Pieta fucking chews him up and spits him out. I think Michelle Pieta fucks him up. I think almost everyone in the top 10 fucks him up. I think Bo Nickal, who's not even ranked, fucks him up easy. I am so unimpressed by Caio Borralho. And even if I had a chance to get him on the show, I'm not interested. You are such a boring fucking fighter, dude. You're in the Ian Gary category for me. I'm not interested.
God damn, dude.
Just saying, I'm spitting facts, dude.
That shit was steamy, boy.
I'm spitting facts. This is how it is, dude. You're gonna come in here, and not only that, you vowed to finish the motherfucker, dude. I just saw the article. You vowed to finish Jared Cannonier. You make these big promises. You think, even though Conor McGregor is not the name he once was, back when he was, though, they called him Mystic Mac because he predicted these things. He would go out there, he would predict the finish, what round, and he would get it fucking done. He wouldn't say, I'm going to go out and finish this guy and then lay on him the last 45 seconds when you almost have an arm and neck triangle fucking locked. Dude, you might kick my ass, but does not change my opinion. I don't fucking like you, and I don't think you should be in the UFC. But anyways,
I'm looking at his Tapology right now, and he's not wrong either. He's got 8 wins by decision. He's got 4 wins by submission, 5 wins by knockout. So
yeah, your fucking whole decision record thing, dude. Go fight in the women's division. Maybe then you'll get a finish, but you might get your ass kicked there too, dude, because you don't belong here.
the women that fought tonight would have pieced him up.
Tabatha, Ricci, or Angela Hill would fuck Borralho up. Maybe not because of the size difference, but if it was a similar size, if he was a flyweight, he would get fucked up by them too. I don't know, dude. I can't explain how unimpressed I am. He is now on my shit list. He is right behind Ian Gary for my most hated fighter in the UFC.
Although a lot of his fights do go to decision, though, I've been highly entertained by some of those decision wins.
I've never been.
He's not boring. Tonight he was boring to watch, but I've had other fights where I was like, dude, this guy's a threat.
Name one where you looked at him fighting a decision when you're like, oh man, this is exciting.
Well,
yeah, keep scrolling. They're all fucking boring, dude. You fucking suck, Borralho. That's all I gotta say.
Hey man, nothing's memorable, but hey, moving on.
Yeah, moving on, dude. Because I could sit here all day and talk shit about Borralho because dude, he might be. Ian Gary was in our thumbnail for a while in the corner. He might take Ian Gary's spot in the corner. He might be next to Ian Gary in the corner, dude. In fact, I'm gonna clip this. You are now in the thumbnail, brother. You have the Ian Gary fucking cuck chair. You have a nutritionist. I'm gonna put you both in the corner in this thumbnail. Unimpressed, dude. I'm disgusted. I picked you. I picked you because you're fucking boring. I knew you're gonna fucking dry hump this man to a decision. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you. Let's move on because I can't stand this motherfucker.
Money and feelings. You got to separate those things sometimes.
I didn't bet on it, so there's no money and feelings. I just don't like him.
What I'm saying is you picked him to win. So if you were going to put your money on it, you would have put your money on.
I would have won, but I would have still fucking hated him.
Yeah, you'd had mixed feelings, but you would have also had a little bit, healthier wallet.
Not really, because he was the favorite. I think he was minus 310. So I would have had to bet hundreds and hundreds of dollars to make fucking $10. So nope. Even then, even betting on you, dude's fucking boring. You suck. Moving on. Anyways, let's we'll get to current events after these interviews. Let's get to the interviews. The very first interview is the absolute badass, the legendary Jennifer Maia, and followed by the badass up-and-comer Ashley Barrett. Enjoy these interview, guys, because we made an ass of ourselves, at least in front of Ashley, for you. So enjoy.
Oh, dude, I thought that grinder was broke.
Not anymore. Thanks to Avalos Co., I was able to get the parts I need in order to repair my grinder so my business can go on as usual.
What else do they sell parts for?
Well, funny you should ask. They sell parts for your broken tools, sex toys, garden equipment, even parts for your computer so you can get back to the games of Halo with your virgin friends.
Okay, tell me more. Where do I purchase?
You can see what they have available exclusively at avalis-co.com. That's AVLIS-CO.com. Check them out to get your tools to entertain those certain family jewels back in working order today.
Alrighty, guys, we are here with Jennifer Maia. So I'll just jump right into this. Congratulations on your recent victory over Mayra Cantuaria at Invicta FC 56. How did you feel going into that fight, and what was your game plan?
E qual foi os seus planos durante a luta? Thank you. I felt good because I have trained a lot for this fight. And I think I did a great job.
Yeah, you look fantastic. Honestly, you look like Mike Tyson in there. Your boxing stance, just the bobbing and weaving.
Thank you. I love training boxing, and I am happy when I got to put everything in the fight.
Oh, my partner just joined. Here we go. Alrighty, so just so you know, Big Sloppy, we are on question number 2.
Oh, cool. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Você pode ver bem. Yes.
Okay, put on with us, Jennifer.
Hello.
So you can go ahead and ask the next question, Big Sloppy. We're on number 2.
Vai perguntar a próxima pergunta para você.
Yeah. What are some of the key differences you've noticed between fighting in the UFC and Invicta?
Quais foram as maiores diferenças que você percebeu do Invicta para o UFC? Essa eu vou responder em português para você traduzir para mim. I'll translate her answer for you. Eu acho que a pressão do UFC é maior. It's bigger. E eu me senti mais tranquila para lutar no Invicta, me senti melhor recebida. I felt more relieved to fight Invicta and more welcomed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. I honestly, we interviewed someone else that was on the card, Ali Pellegrini, and once I saw you were fighting too, I was like, well, I guess I'm watching the whole card now.
Nice.
So I guess my next question, you know, you've had an impressive career so far, including a fight against Valentina Shevchenko for the UFC Flyweight Champion. How did that experience shape you as a fighter?
Como você vê ela como... Sorry, can you repeat, please?
Yeah, no problem. You want me to go a little slower so you can translate?
Please.
Okay. You've had an impressive career so far.
Okay.
Including a fight against Valentina Shevchenko for the UFC Flyweight Championship.
Sua última luta contra você.
How did that experience shape you as a fighter?
Como que essa experiência te colocou como lutadora? I think when I fought with Valentina, she's a hard opponent, and after I fought with her, I felt prepared to fight somebody fighter. Stronger.
Okay. You're next, Big Sloppy.
Yeah. I know. I was just. Can you share some of the insights in your training regimen and how you prepare for your fights?
Insights durante seus treinos e como é que você se preparou pouco? Usually, I did the physical preparation my first train, and after I did some training fight, or boxing, or Muay Thai, or wrestling, or no-gi, and the afternoon I do other training. Depends the training I did in the morning, in the afternoon I did the other training. For example, in the morning I train in wrestling, afternoon I train in jiu-jitsu. This I did on Monday at the Friday, and the Saturday I do a training in the morning, and the Sunday I train in the morning too.
You got a very packed regimen.
We definitely saw that boxing on display on your last fight. That's for sure.
O boxing
You look like Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I already said that.
Thank you. I trained the boxing twice a week.
Yeah,
it shows for sure.
It definitely shows. My dad even said that you look like the best boxer in MMA.
Você foi dos melhores boxers que ele já viu. Thank you. I'm happy with this.
So, with the possibility of a championship fight in Invicta FC on the horizon,
Da próxima luta no Invicta.
How are you preparing mentally and physically for that challenge?
Como que você está se preparando mentalmente, fisicamente para essa grande luta? Eu vou responder em português para você traduzir. Okay. Eu estou numa fase que eu não preciso mais provar nada para ninguém. I don't need to prove anything for anyone. Então eu tô lutando feliz. So I am fighting happy. E com essa oportunidade de eu disputar o cinturão novamente,
And with this opportunity to fight again,
me deixa ainda mais feliz por eu estar no auge.
I am even more happy to be on top.
Let's go.
Vamos lá.
You're
Hey,
next.
speaking of, being on, yeah,
Falando
thanks, Richard.
nisso,
I could tell. So speaking of being on top,
falando de estar tipo no
the
topo,
wins are, but I feel like you learn so much more in your
você
losses.
aprendeu muito
So
mais
what I
com
would
as
like
suas
to know,
perdas. E agora
what
eu
has
queria
been your
saber
toughest opponent to date, and what did you
qual que
take
foi o
away
seu
from that
oponente
fight?
mais difícil e o que você tirou disso como lição.
Com certeza, Valentina.
For sure, Valentina.
E
And
eu tirei como lição de estar sempre evoluindo.
I took as a lesson to evaluate all the time.
Eu encaro cada luta como se fosse a luta da minha vida.
I face every fight as the biggest fight of my life.
That's it.
And that's it.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted there. So what advice would you give to aspiring female fighters looking to make a name for themselves in the MMA world?
Que estão tentando fazer seu próprio nome no mundo da luta.
Keeping in focus and listen your coach, your team, and deixa eu ver como que eu falo por isso. Abra mão de coisas que não fazem sentido pela luta.
So putting things aside that doesn't make sense for the fight, letting aside.
Okay.
So we obviously know you're a phenomenal fighter,
Nós, obviamente, sabemos que você é uma lutadora fenomenal.
but I would like to know,
Mas eu
who are
gostaria
you
de saber
outside of the cage? What do you
quem é
do? What do you
você
do for
fora da
fun?
luta, no mundo da luta. O que você faz, o que você gosta.
I am I love to stay with my family, with my friends, with my students, and I'm happy. I am a woman to like stay everybody near me.
That's awesome. Are there any specific fighters you would like to face in the future, either in Invicta FC or elsewhere?
Lutador específico que você gostaria de enfrentar no Invicta ou em outro evento?
Não, agora eu só quero fazer essas lutas no
At the
Invicta
moment, no, I just want to do the Invicta fights
e me sentir feliz lá dentro do Invicta.
and feel happy inside of Invicta, and that's it.
Okay.
So I used to wrestle, and I would cut a lot of weight to make what I was competing in. I know for me, I always had that one food that I craved after weigh-ins. I'm curious, what is that for you?
E ficava comigo e eu quero saber qual é essa verdade que fica com você quando você tá lutando.
Que não importa o que as outras pessoas vão pensar.
People will think.
Eu sei que eu estou preparada ali.
I know that I'm prepared.
Independente do resultado.
Independent of what is going to happen.
Eu sempre darei o meu melhor.
I'll always give my best.
Okay. So I guess. Oh, did you have a follow-up? My bad.
No, I'm sorry. I missed the part there. What was the favorite food?
Qual é a sua comida favorita?
Pizza.
Pizza.
There we go.
Okay.
And the chocolate.
Okay. Are you
So,
sure you're not American?
Tem certeza que você não é americano?
No. A little.
So I think the final question we got for you.
A última pergunta.
When can we expect to see you back in Invicta? Will it be 57?
Quando que a gente consegue te ver de volta no Invicta? Que vai ser?
In December.
Yes.
Title shot.
Oh, shoot. Cool.
Let's go. Alrighty.
Nice.
Well, that is, I think that's all the questions we got. Do you have any other questions, Big Sloppy?
Se o outro parceiro tem alguma pergunta.
You know what? I
Sabe,
have one more question for
tem
you.
uma pergunta, mais uma.
A lot of the fighters we talk to,
Muitos
I'm always
lutadores que a gente conversa, eu sempre
caught by surprise, I guess, that
fui pego de surpresa.
there's the fighter side, but then there's
Tem o
also
lado
kind of
do lutador
the higher level fighters have a kind of a nerdy side to them, or
e o lado nerd.
is anime or anything like that?
Ou
Video
alguma coisa.
games? Do you do anything like that?
Você gosta de alguma coisa assim?
I like to dance.
Dancing, okay.
Yes. Before
I like to dance too.
before to start in the fight, I was dancing. Dancer.
Was there a specific type or was it all
Tinha
types?
algum tipo específico de dança?
No. Acho que eles não vão conhecer daqui, axé.
Axé, it's like a specific type of Brazilian thing, axé.
Funky.
She used to dance this.
Okay, I'm gonna Google that when we get off here.
That's cool.
So, jogar no Google.
Okay.
We do what's called white guy dancing.
We got 2 left feet.
Cara branca.
But alrighty. Well, I think that's it. If you guys could just stay on a little bit after just to upload your side, that would be awesome. But till then, we really appreciate you joining us. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
E aí a gente fica aqui e ele agradeceu pelo tempo.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, you can kick this off.
All right, guys, we have Ashley Smashly Barnett joining us
Barrett.
today.
There's no N in there.
I'm an idiot, small town retard here. Hey guys, bear with me, okay? But we are excited to have you on. Thanks for hopping on with us. And also, congratulations on your recent win. You just get it done so easily. I mean, one thing that I've noticed watching your fights that I admire about you is there's been opportunities for you to go for a submission and you're like, nah, fuck that shit. And then you just go for the ground and pound. And I just love that about you.
Exactly.
That's definitely how you get on the Contender Series, because that's what Dana's looking for, is that finishing power.
Yeah.
Which I love, man. I tuned in because we interviewed someone else from the card, Ali Pellegrini, and I happened to catch your fight. I was like, oh shit, I want her on the show. It was excellent. But can you walk us through your game plan and strategy going into that fight? Was it just to get her down and smashly her?
Yeah. Pretty much. So I ended up getting a new opponent on like 6 days notice who was pretty different than the person I was supposed to fight because she was taller and longer. So the game plan was literally to just get her down and smash her.
So did you start with grappling or did you start with Muay Thai?
I started with Muay Thai. I tried like one jiu-jitsu class and I thought it was really weird and I didn't want to do it at all. And then, so I just did Muay Thai for like a year. And then I knew I wanted to fight MMA. So my coaches were like, you have to do jiu-jitsu if you want to learn, if you want to do MMA. So then I started doing jiu-jitsu and then wrestling and kind of combining it all together.
That's fair. Hey, I do got to ask you a question because I was looking at your gym and I was like, it seems like there's a huge emphasis on the yoga side of it. I mean, are you guys really focused on that? I mean, I'm sure it absolutely helps, but it seems like a lot of what they're posting, at least on the social media page, had to do with the yoga.
I feel like it probably attracts more business, the yoga. So they probably advertise it more. But I've honestly probably done yoga like 3 times in my life. I don't do it that much. It'd probably be good for me, but I literally never do it.
Jiu-jitsu is like involuntary yoga anyways, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's folding clothes while people are still wearing them.
Yeah, exactly.
But so I'm always curious about this. That was your professional debut, correct?
Yep.
So I'm always curious about what's the difference in training, transitioning from an amateur to a professional.
Definitely working like elbows and being able to, knee to the face and stuff like that. And then like the longer rounds and stuff like that was another thing that we had to get used to. But it's just like, training for any other fight, just a few adjustments.
So right now I think you're fighting at 110 pounds.
115.
115. Sorry.
Yeah. No,
If you were to go into the UFC, I think you'd have to move up a little bit in the weight class, right?
no, they have 115. That's probably the one that I'd go for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do you have to cut a lot of weight to make that weight class?
That's not too bad. Just, a little dieting, only like 10, 15 pounds. It's not horrible.
I don't know. For me, 10, 15 pounds is like,
Yeah.
if I could lose 10, 15 pounds, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I like food too much.
I lose it and I find it right after. So what aspects of your game do you feel are your strongest? I'm assuming it's grappling, and where do you see room for improvement?
I definitely think that my strength is in my grappling, and sorry, there's like a boat going by,
No
but
problem.
yeah, so definitely my grappling, and then just I feel like my ability to like see the strikes on the ground. I feel like sometimes people just want to like grapple when it gets to the ground, but I always like to just like ground and pound.
Sounds like me when I'm waiting for my burger at the Smash Burger place. So, what aspects of your game do you feel like is the strongest, and where do you see room for improvement?
So for improvement, I feel like definitely probably my striking and just like finding my range, especially with taller opponents. But I feel like my strength is grappling and then ground and pound. But for improvement, I feel like just finding my range and just improving my striking a little bit more.
Okay.
So who has been the most influential person in your MMA journey so far, and why are they the one that influenced you the most?
Definitely my teammate Hillary Rose, who's also a professional fighter. She was like the first person I met when I first walked into the gym, and she was already pretty far into her amateur career at that point. So just kind of seeing her work hard and get to where she wanted to be, I realized that I could do that too. So it was nice because she kind of paved a way and just follow in her footsteps a little bit and learn from her.
Yeah, that's cool. I think a big part of it is the gym and the people you surround yourself with. Going through and just seeing some of your posts, I noticed a trend with kind of the language you use in some of your posts is the work you do behind the scenes is what shows up in the cage and that sort of thing. Where does that come from for you?
Just a lot of preparation, just being confident in the amount of work that you've put in. You know that if you work hard in the cage, you're going to be able to work hard, fight easy.
So this is normally a question he asked, but I'm going to ask it. What do you do for fun? What are your hobbies? What?
So you steal my question?
Yeah, I stole your question. What do you do for fun outside of the cage? What are your hobbies? And are you a gamer? Do you do jigsaw puzzles?
I like doing anything outside. I'm at the Cape Cod Canal right now. Me and my mom rode our bikes, so anything like that is fun. I recently started going to the gun range with my brother and shooting some guns, so maybe that's something I'll get better at. Yeah, anything like that. Yeah, stuff like that.
America, fuck
yeah.
Exactly. That's cool. So, are you living in Massachusetts?
Yes.
Okay, so I believe that's where the Salem witch trials started and all that stuff. Is that do a lot of people talk about that out there? Is that a big thing?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of ghost spooky stories and weird history about Massachusetts. It's pretty cool.
Okay, my wife would love it there then because she keeps me up at night. I'm like a big chicken with that stuff. I hate the whole paranormal, all that. She's totally into it, but I don't know if you've ever heard of Nuke's Top 5 on YouTube. He's like, "Did you see that?" That literally keeps me up at night. So it sounds like that's the kind of stuff that you guys have out there in Massachusetts.
Yeah, you should look up the Bridgewater Triangle. It's a whole part of Massachusetts that has all kinds of weird ghost sightings and Bigfoots and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a whole documentary about it, I think. So it's a pretty spooky area, I guess.
Is that everybody's goal out there is to go find Bigfoot?
I think so. It's my mom's goal.
That's why you guys are on bikes today? That's the real hidden agenda?
That's the real reason, yeah.
Nice.
I think the only thing haunted is her prior opponent from getting ground and pound finished. But so my next question, are there any specific fighters you would like to face in the future in Invicta or elsewhere?
Nobody specific. Just kind of whoever they give me. I'm just kind of glad to be a pro now and be in with them. So whatever the next opportunity is, I'm in for it.
What goals do you have for the next year, and how do you plan to achieve them?
Well, I'd like to go like 3 or 4-0, of course, as a pro. Just kind of climb the rankings, let people know who I am, and then see what's next after that. Either like contender series or, what's next. But definitely just kind of try to get my foot in the door a little bit for the next year.
Yeah. Is there another opponent in sight for you? Is there somebody you want to fight?
I just asked that.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, nobody specific, whoever they give me.
So, I feel like you're probably the best person to ask this question, being the fact that your pro debut was in Invicta, which is huge. What advice would you give to aspiring female fighters looking to make a name for themselves in the MMA world?
Just work really hard, take as many opportunities you can get. Don't worry about what you think people are going to think about you. And yeah, you just got to go for it, honestly, and work hard.
Cool. My next question, this is kind of a follow-up. Any chance we'll see you on the next Invicta card?
Not the one in September, but when they have after that, that's probably the one I'll be on, but probably not September unless they need like a short minute replacement or something like that.
So probably the December area?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we just got done interviewing Jennifer Maia yesterday, and she said she's going to return in the December card. So that's pretty cool. You were your debut. You made it on the same card that she fought on, and you're going to return around that same time.
That'd be a really good thing for you to just keep being on the cards that Jennifer's on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Hey, we appreciate you hopping on with us. I know you're out having fun with your mom, so just to take a second with us, that's really special, and we appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Like you said, we really appreciate your time. And sorry you had to listen to our drunken banter there for a second until we realized you were in there.
Hilarious. I thought it was
Awesome. Well, I hope you have a good day and a good rest of your weekend.
awesome. Thanks, you too.
Thanks.
Bye.
Whoa, dude. Where'd you get that totally throbular shirt from?
Funny you should ask. I got it from PandaMMANews merch store. We have all sorts of merch to choose from, including our brand new Live, Laugh, Throb shirt from episode 4. We have dog collars, dog beds, limited edition shirts, hats, coffee mugs, and more. So what are you waiting for? Come throb with us at PandaMMANews.com. Just click the merch tab and check out all our great product.
Throbbing is known to cause health issues for both male and females above the age of 40. So do not use PandaMMANews.com without prior doctor consent. Please throb responsibly.
Now.
Okay, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that as much as we did. Both those women are doing phenomenal things with their career. Jennifer Maia,
badass.
Holy crap, your boxing is insane. And Schmashley, keep smashing. You're doing great things. I guarantee you're going to make it to the UFC, and I'm excited to see it. So, hey, that was awesome. We're going to move into the current events here, guys. And the first thing I wanted to bring up was with Marab.
Yep.
And what the fuck is he doing, dude? He's posting pictures of having his eye split. That's the kind of shit that jeopardizes fights, you fucking moron. What are you, just so insecure too? You're going to hop over a cage or a little gate and go after a fan because he said something that hurt your feelings? Like, dude, come on, dude. Is your fucking pecker small because your nose is hella big? Like, chill the fuck out, guy. God damn.
He's also 5'3".
Dude, he's got the short man syndrome going on. Like, come on, playa, just chill out a little bit, dude. You know what I'm saying? But it got me thinking. I don't know if Marab's capable of this kind of stuff. It almost makes me wonder if
he handled the pressure.
No, it almost makes me wonder if the UFC wants to create these intentions through fighter image. So they tell him like, hey, listen, you need to get edgy and interesting because nobody gives a fuck about you. And we're trying to sell pay-per-views here, and you're going to fight Sean O'Malley. You need to start doing some shit that puts your name in the headlines. Maybe not the cut, but I'm thinking like maybe they're like, hey, you like we'll pay the tab on this. Like, you need to jump out and make yourself interesting and go after a fan. I don't know. I'm just thinking like he's so goddamn boring. I mean, he's got these videos that come out that kind of make me chuckle, but I think even that maybe he's not coming up with that. Maybe somebody else is like,
he pays a rider.
Yeah, and they're just, you know, obviously it's just his body in doing it all. It's not like Sean O'Malley where he's just the creative mind behind it all, putting it out there.
And Sean's is much funnier.
Yeah, 100%, dude. He's a freaking goob.
But what you just said, let's unpack a little bit what you just said. So,
do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. That's why I want to unpack a little bit what you said. So, the first thing you touched on is the cut. Putting your cut out there, for one, you're like he said, you're jeopardizing the fight. Fucking stupid move. For two, you're going against a sniper, dude. You just gave him a target. You don't think he's going to be attacking that spot, trying to split that open again and get a fucking doctor stoppage? That's the dumbest fucking move you could have done, Merab. Dude, Merab, I was a fan. Well, not. I still am kind of a fan, but not as much anymore, because you're just showing how stupid you are. And also, like you said, attacking a fan, dude. They're fans. They have favorites, dude. You're fighting their favorite guy. All he said was Sean O'Malley's going to knock you out. If you can't handle that, learn from fucking Sarukian, dude. Sarukian's suspended, and you're being stupid doing this shit. But what I say, I don't think UFC's setting it up, because like now with the Sarukian situation, the lightweight title fight is jeopardized because Sarukian got suspended because of the fact he attacked a fan. I don't think they would risk the title fight with him getting suspended and everything, because the commission's the one that makes that decision. I don't think they do that. But he just does so much stupid shit, dude. It's insane. And honestly, I think regardless of the antics and everything, I think people will tune in, because a lot of people, if you're not a fucking casual and you actually follow the UFC, a lot of people have been saying for years, O'Malley will get fucked up by Merab. So regardless, people would tune in, because there's a lot of people that hate O'Malley, just like people hate Colby or, you know, Connor, even though Connor has a lot of love, but there's a lot of haters, and people are going to tune in to see them lose. But especially showing that cut, dude, I already think you're going to lose. Because you're so susceptible to that lead left hook when you come in, and when you exit, you drop your hands. You've been wobbled, nearly dropped twice, once by Henry Cejudo, once by Moraes. You're given a guy who has had almost nothing but finishes. He's had a few decisions, but almost nothing but finishes. You're giving him a way to finish you, and you're also like 7 inches shorter, dude. Like you generate more power when you punch downwards. It's gravity. So already you're at a disadvantage there, and you got a weaker chin, obviously, because you've been wobbled by that lead left hook. And now you're giving a target. What the fuck are you doing, dude? Do you want the title or not? Because right now it looks like you just want the clout, and you're taking this fight because you know you're gonna get finished, but you're gonna have people who tune in and watch and follow you. That's what I'm gathering from that.
Oh, and you know, Dana was fucking furious because of how much money is going into that Sphere card, that if they had to find a new fighter to replace Merab, like how fucking pissed he would be.
Who would it be? It'd have to be Umar. And if you're the UFC and you got a star like Sean, and you want to make money, and you're looking at it from money aspect, you're keeping Umar the fuck away from Sean. I love Sean O'Malley. I'm favoring Sean in the Merab fight, but I think Umar takes Sean. I really do. So you're putting the UFC in a place where they have to do something like that, you know, subbing Umar, who is the only other person in the weight division right now that deserves. You're just being stupid. And like you said, them being pissed about showing the cut. I showed you the clip of Dana White just flat out calling Merab a fucking moron. Just,
I didn't even see that, but I just assumed it.
Okay, well, go ahead and talk about the other current events that we don't have to pull up a tab for, and I'll pull this up so everyone can see.
Well, one more thing I wanted to say about that, and the reason why I think about how the UFC could be behind the intentions of creating fighter image, is I remember hearing about Colby Covington and his career, and how he wasn't marketable, and that he was boring and almost cut from the UFC. And they basically said, hey dude, if you don't come up with a persona and like people, like get some people to get like buy in on you, you don't have a career here. Like people don't want to see you dry hump a leg for 5 rounds. Like nobody's going to sign up for that. What did he do overnight? He started fucking using that mouthpiece. Turns out Colby Covington can actually talk shit. He's freaking hilarious. Did he cross the line with Leon? Hell yeah. I didn't really buy in on that.
He crossed the line with everyone, but yeah, talking about Leon's dead dad especially, yeah.
That was the one thing right there where I'm like, dude, you could say a lot of things. You don't bring up people's parents or their kids yeah. or any of their family stuff.
Like that piece of shit Francis is fighting.
Yeah, exactly like that. And now he's trying to revoke that statement. It's like, bruh, It's already out there. We already knew what your intention was
You're already
behind
a piece
that.
of shit on it now.
It's just people didn't think it was cool. Just like people didn't think it was cool when Covington did. I think he lost a lot of fans from that. I know I didn't like him as much after that.
No, he did. If you look at his interviews, like the recent ones with Submission Radio, originally they were getting like 200,000 to 500,000 views when they had Kobe on. Now he's down to like 80,000 views, which is a massive dip for, someone who once was considered a star. He could easily sell a pay-per-view without a title, and now he would have to have a superstar opponent in order for that to happen. He wouldn't be able to sell a pay-per-view by himself right now.
Not to mention he didn't back up those words either. He looked like a bitch when he went into that fight with Leon, and I couldn't believe it.
Whether he had a broken foot or not, release the x-rays, and then we might change our opinions. But until then, I haven't seen an x-ray, so I don't know if I believe you had a broken foot. I really think that you were hesitant because Usman, even though I thought you won the second fight with Usman, you got fucked up the first time, and also you got dropped the second time too. I think when you saw Usman go to sleep from Leon, and you were so hesitant because of that, and you have the same type of style as Usman, so you knew that you were also susceptible to the same thing.
Yeah, that's valid. But yeah, it's that kind of stuff that gets me wondering, like, are they just trying to market Merab because he's so goddamn boring? Is that what it is? Is that what's happening here? Because we're talking about the Sphere here. They put so much money into it. There's Saudi money in this fight.
Then why is the whole card dog shit?
Oh, I know. No, it's crazy, man. But yeah, it's like the whole thing is it's based on the O'Malley Merab fight. So that falls out. It's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
Dog water.
Let me hopefully
dude, tonight's fight night had better fucking fights on it than what they got on the Sphere.
Yeah.
Like overall.
Hopefully this setting change didn't fuck up anything, because I forgot we changed the settings for the fights. But let's move on from that. Let's get into the next. Well, because he hasn't seen the comments from Dana White. They were the post-fight contender series comments from Dana White about Merab's cut. So we'll all watch it together. So let me share the screen real quick. Share screen again. Right here. Share. All right. So here we go.
Could I ask you two other Merab's cut? What do you know about Merab's cut? And can you make any?
The whole world knows about Merab's cut. He posted it. Our guys are so dumb. It's next level, unbelievable. It's all the stuff that I talk about boxing. What I will give boxing is when something happens in a camp, man, let me tell you what, it does not leak. Our guys can't fucking wait to throw it up on social media. It's a small cut. It's no big deal, but obviously needed to be posted.
Against a guy like O'Malley, who's a sharpshooter and who's a very accurate puncher, now all of a sudden there's a big target for him.
And why the fuck would you want him to know that? Yeah. It is next level stupid. Some of these guys are so stupid, it's mind-boggling. It's unbelievable.
You already said it was not a smart decision to share the cut, but have you thought of a replacement for that fight? Is it someone that you've been working in the last?
No.
Not because of this, but it's a big fight.
No, I don't even talk like this. Don't you dare throw the jinx on me.
So yeah, I stand by that. Fucking Merab's a Neanderthal for that one, dude. God damn. He must have grew up in the same small town I did.
Dana's white. Dana's white. Dana's right though. Dana's right though. In a boxing, if a boxer gets injured in a camp, we've never heard of that because it doesn't fucking leak. But these fucking morons, dude, they can't wait to share. Look at me, I cut myself because I'm training so hard. All you're doing is giving a fucking target and potentially risking the fight, with the commission having to step in. You know how much money the UFC's poured into making the Sphere possible? Dude, there's so many special effects going on. Dana White, the reason why Saudi money's involved is because he already spent $17 million, just in production. And he said in a separate interview, I'm not going to look it up because it's going to take too much time, but the lowdown, he said in a separate interview that if he had to change out a fighter, it would cost him millions to change the production, from the current card that's set up. So you're not getting on the good side of the UFC. I'll tell you that right now. And after O'Malley knocks you the fuck out, which I believe will happen, I don't think you're getting any favorable matchups. I think you're fighting the hardest fights that they can throw at you because now you're on the shit list. You fucked up.
I didn't even think about that part because, you know, the whole thing about the Sphere is like it's a big screen basically.
Yeah.
So you can imagine each fighter is going to have its own dedicated like promo and stuff going on, like the light shows and everything involved with each individual specific fighter. So if one fighter were to drop out, that is a lot of lost ground and a lot of money out of Dana in, you know, the UFC's pockets.
And they have to rush to, you know, fill in the fighter that dropped out. They have to rush to make that production value possible. It just fucks up, especially because the Sphere this is the first time, this is their only time, Dana said. You know, most things that are in the Sphere, like when they had U2 in there and all that was over at least a month residency. So they had a month to, you know, fine tune everything that went into it. You know, it was a learning curve for them. UFC, one time only, has to be perfect from the jump. And you are jeopardizing, you know, that product by potentially, you know, risking being pulled out of the fight because you're a fucking moron and you can't keep shit to yourself.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
But let's get to the next turn event. This one's actually a pretty spicy one. Let me get the setting ready. This is beautiful. I hope this happens because this is exciting as fuck. And this is how we decide if Paddy is really about his shit. Paddy Pimblett versus Beneil Dariush is targeted for UFC 309 at Madison Square Garden. Paddy proved himself against Bobby Green. Dariush, I think, is ranked number 3 or 4. He beats Dariush. He next fights title.
He's a bad man. Despite Dariush's last fight, who was it that he fought against? I forget. But
I think his last fight was Charles Oliveira.
Was it?
I think that's when he got knocked out.
Yeah, he looked human there, but make no mistake, Beneil Dariush is a bad man. And that's going to be a great test for Paddy Pimblett because obviously he's gonna be challenged with the grappling aspect of it. But I think you know, Dariush actually has hands too.
Sorry, his last fight was actually Sarukian, which he lost by knockout. Also, right after the knockout to Oliveira.
That's it.
Yeah, both were round 1. But either way, go ahead and keep saying what you're saying. I'm gonna look up the rankings real quick so I can be precise when I say this.
Oh well, I guess what I meant by that, you know, is just basically. Paddy looked great against Bobby Green. Me and Richard here, we both did not think he was getting that done.
Wow. Okay, so he actually dropped through the rankings majorly. Beneil Dariush is actually at number 7. I know he hasn't fought in a while, but that's surprising because at one time he was number 2 or number 3. He was right there for the title. Okay, surprising, but
well, it also makes sense. He lost to 2 guys in that top 5.
Yeah, but I mean, usually they just assume his place and he gets knocked down a notch, but he's dropped down, you know, 4 to 6 notches. So that's just a little surprising to me. But anyways, let's get into the next. This one's not a main event. This one's more of a funny thing. I saw this on X. I thought it was hilarious. This is a high school picture of Dana White. The quote underneath Dana White's high school picture says, "If John Jones got locked inside of a room with anyone, and I mean anyone, John Jones walks out of that room." Which, you know, obviously playing tribute to the fact that he glazes John Jones up and down, which is all right. You know, John Jones is the GOAT. We love John Jones, but at the same time, Dana, you don't have to glaze him so hard. The man is the GOAT. He has accolades. You don't have to fucking continue to rub it in our faces. We get it. We understand he's the GOAT. We just want to see him fight Tom. That's it.
Yeah, that's facts, man. Yeah, his record says it all.
Yeah, but the last thing we have for you guys, which is another kind of funny thing, I heard this was a real tweet. I'm not 100% positive, so if I am, comment. Let me know I'm wrong. But this is Israel Adesanya tweeting to Ling Jingliang. It says, "We both lost that night, but keep your head up, Ling Jingliang, UFC, my Chinese brother." The leech replied, "I may be Chinese, but I ain't a brother of yours, son." Which is a Drickus line.
Yeah, that's a play right there, dude. The leech.
Yep.
Leeching on Dracus's words.
Yep. But that's pretty much all we got for you guys. Real quick, just to run through our release schedule for this upcoming week. So on Tuesday evening at 5 p.m., we are releasing a podcast with Nick. What is he? Bukama? Nick something. He's a badass. He just got signed to a multi-fight deal with I'm drawing a blank. Cage Warriors, and he is undefeated currently. On that same episode, we are featuring an exclusive interview with Larian Douglas. He is coming off a exciting knockout win for the interim title of LFA, which in the post speech he said, "Hey Dana, I take short notice fights." Badass guy. I love talking to both of them. They were extremely fun to talk to. The following day, Wednesday at 5 p.m., we will be releasing the next episode, which is the non-binary ninja, which is the first trans boxing champion. She was a lot of fun to talk to. You guys will hear, she talked a lot of shit. It was fun.
Hell yeah, she did. And she spit some I'm not even gonna say it.
Yeah,
you guys are gonna have to tune in if you want to
save that.
But
But
let's save it for you. Tune in or cuck out. I don't know.
Or cuck out. But on the same episode as non-binary ninja, we have Gabe Defron, who is a world champion with combat jiu-jitsu. So tune into those. I think that's it. Yeah. And then Thursday, we will have another podcast where we will give our picks for next weekend's fight card. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all we got for you guys. For this upcoming week, we are going to be launching a new podcast underneath the Panda MMA banner. I'm not going to give any details or names or show logos until everything's in place, but it's just an extra level of content, for you guys to tune into. Where the end goal is for us to be releasing 3 to 5 videos a week. So we're trying to take leaps and bounds to make that happen. So make sure you guys tune in that new podcast. Subscribe, like, follow us on TikTok and X, Panda MMA News, and follow us on Instagram, Panda MMA News 1. And if you are cucking this channel and you are just watching, you're not liking, you're not subscribing, you belong getting touched by your uncle. But
guys, we can see the numbers. Okay, we see the subscriptions. Subscriptions are up. So for those of you that manned up, right, or ponied up, whatever you want to call it, we love you.
Yep.
And we're glad to have you as a part of the family.
We appreciate you.
The Panda crew is growing, but you know what else is growing? My disgust for you cucks that keep watching our channel, not liking shit and not subscribing. Y'all some weirdos.
Yep, y'all some weirdos. On top of his message right there, it just came to my mind to announce this. If you guys weren't cucks and you actually tuned into one of the most exciting episodes we had, the Jackson Winks MMA edition, we are going to start interviewing a lot of their fighters. So we're going to start filling our schedule with a lot of Jackson Winks fighters. So make sure you guys tune in for them. You guys are going to see a lot of the up-and-comers, people that are already in the UFC. You're going to see a lot of diversity in the guests we have, and we are very excited. We're so thankful that the people at Jackson Winks, Greg Jackson and Misha, gave us their time to show us around the gym, give us the interview. Can't express enough how thankful we are. They've honestly, I'm gonna go out and say that they have both been probably some of our favorite guests because of the fact that fun to talk to. And unlike a lot of the guests we've had so far, they actually contribute to the collaboration. When we collab a post, they accept it, they repost it, they help get the word out there. Where a lot of guests that we've had recently, they do the interview and then they go follow a channel that they haven't done an interview with that's smaller than ours, which is pretty fucking annoying. But anyways, that's the end of this podcast, guys. Hope you guys have a good one, and don't fish yourself too hard.